I think one of the craziest things to happen this year and just was completely unexpected is what's exactly happening with the Detroit Tigers. At this point, you look at the Detroit Tigers, they've lost 7 in a row. They've currently lost 15 out of the 17 last games. They have the third worst record in the MLB, and they're currently last place on the AL Central. Now, I think this is one of the most unexpected things because you look at their team last year. Last year, they made the wild card. Last year, they went 87 and 75. It was a promising team that had a lot of promising prospects this starting year. They re-signed, they got Framber Valdez. You would have assumed that this team would have been powerful, but at the end of the day, that's just not what's happening. Anyways, guys, let's talk about it. Well, guys, before we start the video, if you guys can do me a huge favor, if you like MLB content and you want to stay up to date in the best content ever, do yourself a favor and follow me, like this video, let me know what you guys want to see next. Anyways, let's move on to the video. During the preseason, a lot of interesting things happened when it comes to the Detroit Tigers. One of the biggest headlines when it came to them was Tarik Skubal. What exactly is going to happen to him because he's in his last year of his contract, and it was an arbitration case at the end of the day. The Detroit Tigers never got a good qualifying offer that Tarik Skubal was going to accept. They went into arbitration and Tarik Skubal won a lot of money. Now, the thing that a lot of people had a problem with was then they went out there, signed Framber Valdez to a 3-year deal, $150 million, after the things that did unfortunately happen in the Astros, the big issues. That's why for the longest time, nobody knew where Framber Valdez was going to sign because not a lot of people wanted to take a chance because of the things that had happened in the locker room. Now, the Detroit Tigers also went out. They got Justin Verlander. They got Kyle Finnegan. Gleyber Torres accepted their qualifying offer. So they continuously signed the people that they had the previous year, and they also added Framber Valdez to the starting rotation. Now, the issues that Framber Valdez might have had, hey, he's still a great player at the end of the day. He's a great person to have in your pitching rotation. Justin Verlander is a great veteran. Now, this is where things get interesting because the Detroit Tigers have lost a lot of games. The issue now that you have to talk about is what is going to happen to Tarik Skubal. Now, the issues that have been happening with the Tigers, you can very much say it's part of the offense, it's part of the pitching rotation, but you can't also say and neglect that the injuries haven't been a factor in why specifically they've been struggling. When it comes to the at-bats, you look at the injuries. Gleyber Torres is currently out. Trey Sweeney's out. Javier Baez, Kerry Carpenter. Those are just a few bats that are out. And you look in the pitching rotation. Tarik Skubal, their starting pitcher, their ace, the 2-time Cy Young winner, out. Justin Verlander, who they signed in the offseason, out. Like, it's just a few, and that's just a few of the starting pitchers. Now, once again, at the end of the day, you look at the Tigers and they're in a rough state. They've lost 15 out of the 17 games, and you have to start having these conversations that are difficult because once again, Tarik Skubal is in that last year of the contract. The Tigers and Tarik Skubal were never able to get a long-term deal. So at this point in time, you have to think: are the Tigers going to go out there to sell Tarik Skubal to at least get some assets back? What do you guys think?